Now in this session we will discuss activity lifecycle methods for next scenario, that is when a new screen comes on top of your old screen. Let us say I have two screens like this. First one is main activity, second screen name is second activity. Let us say first screen contains one button, start second screen, and the second screen contains one text view which displays welcome to second screen. Now the requirement is when user clicks on the button, we have to open second activity. For this, let us see activity lifecycle methods. Now let us say user will open main activity first. When user opens main activity, first it will call onCreate and then onStart and then onResume method of main activity. After onResume method, currently your main activity is on the foreground or visible to user. Now when user clicks on the button, when second activity is opened, before opening second activity, that means user is moving away from main activity to second activity. Since user is moving away from main activity to second activity, to indicate that Android operating system will call onPause method on main activity, indicating that user is moving away from main activity to second activity. Let me give the numbers for these lifecycle methods. First, when user opens first activity, onCreate method will be called, then onStart, then onResume. When user clicks on the button, OS will call onPause method as fourth lifecycle method. Once onPause method will be called, automatically Android will open second activity. But remember, before opening any activity or before making any activity visible to user, first of all OS has to call onCreate, onStart, onResume one more time. Remember, every activity will contain its own lifecycle methods. So that means after onPause method is being called on main activity, now Android operating system will go to second activity and it will call one more time onCreate, onStart, onResume, and now currently user is looking at second activity. So now second activity is on the foreground state or running state. So let me mark numbers. After onPause, when user opens second activity, fifth number it will call onCreate, then onStart, then onResume, and currently user is looking at second screen. Now at this point of time, when second screen is visible on top of your main activity, that means main activity is completely invisible to user, which means on top of main activity, second activity is visible. Since main activity is completely invisible to user, tell me which life cycle method will be called? To indicate that a screen is completely invisible to user, OS will call onStop method. That means once onResume method is called for second activity, once second activity is visible to user, once second activity is moved to foreground state, internally Android will go to main activity and it will call onStop method. So that is after onResume of second activity, as step number 8, it will call onStop method of main activity, saying main activity is no more visible to user. Currently user is looking at second activity. Let us see the same flow in Android Studio. I will open Android Studio. I will create two activities and we will see when user starts second activity whether this flow will happen or not. Here assumption is that second activity is non-transparent screen. Now let me create a new studio project. My application name is Activity Lifecycle. Now I will click next. Click next. Select empty activity. Click next and click finish. This is our first screen design. Now let me create second activity. Right click, new activity, empty activity, second activity. As we know already how to create another activity, I am not going to explain more in detail. Click finish. Our second activity, XML screen design, will look like this. Now I will go to main activity. I will write button click listener to start second activity. As we know already, the code for starting second activity with intent looks like this. Now, this is not very important for us. Let me show you how to write life cycle methods. In this main activity, as I told you, every activity will contain its own life cycle methods. Currently, we have onCreate life cycle method, which is starting at line number 12 and which is ending at line number 23. You can observe when I press minus symbol, it is collapsing at line number 23. So we have only onCreate life cycle method. As per our session, along with onCreate method, we have to write these 4 life cycle methods in the main activity Java file. As I told you already, life cycle methods should not be written within one more method. That means to write onStart method, you have to come out of onCreate method, which is ending at line number 23. Put cursor here, press enter. Now you don't have to do any research. Just type onStart. Studio will help you. Android Studio will help you automatically. Let me type onStart. So as you can observe, it is showing help here. Pick this method by double clicking. Now onStart method came, and just below onStart method, write onResume also. Though order doesn't matter, but as a good programmer, you should always follow this order. First you should write onCreate, then onStart, onResume, and so on. Again just below onStart method, now I will write onResume. All these are all predefined methods, so they will come automatically. Pick from intelligence window, and just below onResume, onPause, and just below onPause, onStop. Similarly, let me write these 3 methods in the second activity Java file. onCreate is already available, so we have to write only 2 methods, onStart and onResume. You have to come out of onCreate method. Don't write methods outside the class. Your class is ending at line number 13. Don't write code after line number 13. You should write before line number 13. So let me write here onStart and onResume. Now, in order to experiment the flow of activity lifecycle methods, when user opens a new screen, what I will do, I will put a print message in each lifecycle method. I will go to onCreate and I will display a toast message onCreate of main activity. Similarly, in onStart, I will print a toast message onStart of main activity, and so on. So let me put a toast message here. Similarly, in onStart, let me put one more toast message. Similarly, for onResume method and for onPause method, let me print a toast message in second activity also. Second activity onCreate. This is just only for our understanding purpose. Now I will run the application. As per our understanding, first when you start main activity, it should call onCreate, onStart, onResume. So first it should print toast messages, main activity onCreate, onStart, onResume. When user clicks on the button, then it should call onPause main activity, onCreate, onStart, onResume of second activity, and after that it should call onStop method of main activity. Let us see our assumption is correct or not. Now let me run the application. Now I will click OK. Let us wait for the output here. Now it has launched application. By now it would have called those 3 lifecycle methods. So I will run the application one more time. I have searched for my application here. You can observe activity lifecycle. Now I will open this. Observe toast messages. onCreate, main activity, onStart, onResume. After onResume, control will not go to onPause immediately. Now when I click start second screen, you can observe flow here. I forgot to print a toast message in onStop method of main activity. Let me print that also. Now I will run the application one more time. Main activity onCreate, onStart, onResume. Main activity onPause. Second activity onCreate, onStart, onResume, and main activity onStop. So that means our assumptions are correct. I hope you understood this scenario.